like go. Ties burn the pavement. People want to know when Mace, Posse, and Dave went.
Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went.
Legs off the head, all being moved in a frenzy.
The blends be all the right cred,
meaning credentials.
best of both worlds
When we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter right, turn it up, we giving the show.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
What you talking about, space out your mind?
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver.
All about running the spot,
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A plus the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
Simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years so you can say we got
3 turns.
live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert.
Upheaval the ground.
Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, we head up to Jacksonville for the Jags home opener. To bring it to you, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, any Florida resident will tell you that afternoon pop-up showers and storms are the norm, and that's exactly what we have right now. Actually expecting a pretty steady rain throughout today here in Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3 quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. And we look at this offense now, and Zach Martin will be important for this team today.
He's so good, Brandon, that you can play him at any position in the offensive line And I think he's a Pro Bowl player at each spot.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Off the play fake. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sack, baby! Sack, baby!
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Though certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the gun, Fields. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Taylor now returning it. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. So here are the Jaguars in great field position already. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Pick me up. Here we go.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Luck flush to his right. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. A first carry for the Fordham Ram, Chase Edmonds. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here we go on 4th. Luck. And he will find his man on the outside. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. The starters defensively now for the Patriots, coming into this one ranked number 19 in the NFL against the pass.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
You go tight. One man. You got tight.
Here's Lott. Throwing right, and that's complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. The numbers for him from a week ago. Now, you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw right there they want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Here's Lott. His throw caught right around the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. It's the fullback. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it into play before with the smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score.
And that has to warm the hearts of a lot of old school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit, number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, Chubb. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. Ended up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Back to throw. Fields. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Looking to throw. Fields. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now Locke. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schwartz. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there at 22. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, and the pressure gets to him again. Aaron Donald picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Seems to me that our friend Old Momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
The throw right sideline here is complete. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Switch it.
A run for Nick Chubb. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Making the catch is Sternberger. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Chubb on first down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, it'll be 2nd down.
doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
New England on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Fields. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Back to throw. Fields. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. To throw is Love. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Love. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives and ends up.
And got his man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Patriots have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Luck. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. On first down, it's Love. He's got his man. This is Tate. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Luck throwing again. That one complete. He finds Sharp. 23 yards the pickup there. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Throwing is Locke. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing again is Locke. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 11. To throw again on 2nd down. Luck. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
This is taken at the 3. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where it was the Titans who get the win at home. Dwayne Haskins, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Josh Allen with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Jared Goff, 3 touchdown passes as his guys moved to 2-0 on the young season. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they'll try the jet sweep here. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On 3rd down, they run with Edmonds. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On the carry, it's Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. To throw on 3rd down. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
To return is Taylor. Yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Love. And he whips that one incomplete there. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
talking about. Nice hit, boy.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on third down. From the gun, here's Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Mike, 58, right there. Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And again, it's Chubb. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And he's got his man on the out route. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. And they were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They run it again with Chubb. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. From the gun, Fields. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one good for 13 at a New England 1st down. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Jacksonville. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Luck on 3rd down. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Schultz. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Luck. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Luck. And he will find his man on the outside. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On first down, Edmonds. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Luck now to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Slam! Let's go, Mexico!
Back to throw. Luck toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. And the question now, can the Patriot defense hold firm again on 3rd and goal? Out of the gun, Luck to the goal line, but it's incomplete. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And now out come the Patriots. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. that only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it, and even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to fourth down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be set.
I'm going to hit you all day, baby.
Solomon Thomas made the tackle. No gain on the play. Brings up third.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
All day, defense, all day, all day. Shift. 12. 51
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Luck. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win. Obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. So the Patriots now down on the scoreboard. Just over a minute, 40 to play. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Catch is made by Hurd. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Back to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 15-yard line. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And this is caught. Touchdown! And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds.
Well, that's the one they had to have. Put them in a position where they're tied up, but I got to get out of the way. We still got an extra point that's pretty crucial.
That's right, just one more element to complete the victory. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that might be enough to win them the football game as they now take the lead in the final seconds. This is taken near the 13. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for New England, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Jackson,